one guy's thing. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly and no, hold on a second. I'm not actually. Oh no, I am recording the podcast. You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Oh yeah.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of the 10th of August to the 16th of August of 2020, with a couple of exceptions, starting with Super Shiro, episode
44.
44.
What's it called? The
The
Mysterious
mysterious
Boba Bone.
bone.
A few too many Boba Bones.
I think an extra bow.
This time, it's in the 45th District Library.
24-hour library.
Which
Good.
I think is a specific library, the design, because it looks like the library where I think it's the same library where Yomiko Reedman's hiding out in the second half of the ROD TV show.
Oh. All right.
I think that's the design, if my memory is serving correctly. But he will not find the star of Read or Die this time. They will find a dog philosopher who it turns out his name in the credits is Diogenes.
Diogenes.
No,
Diogenes.
Diogenes because
Diogenes. I know it is Diogenes, but
Yeah,
you think,
yes.
Okay, right. There's got to be some kind of dog pun. It's almost there.
Oh, it is. Diogenes is a dog. The entire thing is a parody of Diogenes. Because Diogenes was a guy who used to go around telling people, you should act more like dogs. Dogs have got it right, not people. Whereas this guy is going around telling dogs, you should stop acting like dogs. What are you thinking? No, this is our first burst of Greek-based humour. Historical Greek-based humour we're getting this week.
Man, we are this a classical history podcast now. We can branch out into that
Yeah,
officially.
why not?
Yeah, because as soon as I saw who he was at the end, I looked it up on Wikipedia, and then there's a section in Wikipedia called Diogenes as dogged or dog-like.
Wait, is that your man who lived in the pot, or am I mixing up my Greek philosophers?
He's the guy who likes to take a shit in the street, like to masturbate in public.
That sounds like the guy I'm thinking of. Yeah.
On the indecency of his masturbating in public, he would say, "If only it was easy to banish hunger by rubbing my belly."
I mean,
got a point.
you can't argue with him, but you can arrest him. I'm just saying.
Anyway, more about masturbating in public later, when we get to a different show. But yeah, this was so good, such a good episode because it introduced an entirely new character out of nowhere, who broke our main character's brains. As they,
But when you get down to it, the only thing it's doing is what a 5-year-old will do to you. It's like, so here's why we're doing this. Why? Well, because of this. Why? Because of what? Why? Shut up. That's all he's really doing to them.
5-year-olds are good philosophers.
I think he has a
So-
good, decent point because he's basically questioning why are you looking for this bone? How do you know where you're going to find the bone? How do you know that the bone smells gorgeous, elegant, and wild? And also based on the fact that they found 43 bones which weren't the Boba bone and they all smelt gorgeous, elegant, and wild, he may have a point.
Yeah, it's like not all bones. A considerable portion of bones are gorgeous, elegant, and wild, but not all bones are the Boba
Yes.
bone. Did I do too many bones there? I don't know.
And he points out you've got bones in your body. Maybe you're the Boba bone.
Oh, God. The killer is inside the house.
I love the fact that we thought it was going to explain what the Boba bone was, but it actually just like made us. Yeah, it made more questions than it answered,
Yes.
which is nice.
And it's easy for Shin-chan to deal with Shiro to deal with these answers and questions because
Because he has a superpower.
he's not. Anyway, he has a superpower, but also he hasn't enhanced his brain in the same way that Deca-Dence has.
It's going to melt his brain quicker. I did like the repeated joke of putting the tap on his brain to let out the steam. That's good.
Yeah, and it turns out the bone was a book, and even when they're asking the usual question, "Are you sure this is Boba bone?" Shiro is not sure, but
How can we be sure of anything, man?
It could all be just dust particles fingernail.
not much else to add. It was a lot of fun. 4 more episodes left, I believe.
It's going to be looks like some very nostalgic memories there. We see like well, actually, this Shinchan there goes. Shiro's being walked by Shinchan and a very idyllic rainbow lit meadow. It's like, ooh, it's going to be a very special episode again, maybe. I don't know.
Then we've got, I wanted to call it Banana. No. BNA, Brand New Animal. Episode 7, Easy Albatross. In which we take a break from Chris Claremont X-Men plots to do a Chris Claremont Iron Fist plot. Thankfully, without Chris Claremont Irish accents.
Thank goodness.
In which the story is, there's a friendly guy who appears to be a terrorist, and he is a terrorist, but he's not a terrorist who is the actual threat in the story.
He is wanting to enact terror in order to get his means, but he doesn't want to hurt anyone, which means as a terrorist go, he's okay. Yeah,
that's pretty much the plot of this one particular Iron Fist story.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a head scratcher when you read it, and less of a head scratcher when you make everybody birds and animals than trying to comment on political situations outside your own country. Which are in the Iron Fist is a weird mix of real life political situations and fake political situations. It's a former IRA guy and a bunch of, I think, made-up Middle Eastern countries.
Wait, what? I wonder how those two cross over. But
general terrorism.
They made a big conference last year.
It's part of a much bigger Iron Fist. It's a Chris Claremont thing, so it's loads of little threads running through multiple stories.
Right.
Thankfully, the storytelling is a lot clearer here, though, as I understand from reviews of later episodes, the fact that each of these episodes moves by so quickly and they've not given you too much information means they're rapidly running out of episodes in which to actually give you the information they need to give you. But yeah, it opens with a albatross man flying over Anima City when he's being stopped by the Japanese Air Force, who wants him to pull down and go through immigration, and he ends up crashing through the roof of Michiru's room and ending up in her bed, where he immediately falls asleep. And we get like little hints of his issue is that for the migratory bird beastmen, this beastmen having human rights is a problem to them because they can no longer migrate the way that they're genetically disposed to.
And obviously you can interpret that to human ways of cultures that don't have fixed abodes or are, for lack of a better term, migratory, and cultures who live like in caravans and that kind of thing. And it's just like, you don't function in the modern world. And that kind of fucking sucks. Your father's fucking traditions, you can't continue, that kind of thing. But it's adding that to an albatross, which is a little different.
Yeah. And also, I've forgotten the guy who's obviously the bad guy's name.
Alan Silvast.
Yeah, that's him. Alan, yeah. He's trying to convince the mayor to get rid of this religious organisation.
Yeah, because she was going to take him in, because it's like, well, they're beastmen. This is Beastman City. We got to take him in. It's easier to keep an eye on him. And he's like, maybe don't, though. How about you don't? And it's like, are you ordering her what to do? Or it's like, are you threatening her what to do? It's like, no, I'm just saying it might be a good idea.
But he's also pointing out specifically like all these beastmen who are helping move beastmen culture forward are being assassinated, and he seems to be suggesting that it's this cult's fault.
Because they've gotten big recently.
Or not is another question.
Well, it is sort of like, maybe don't be trying to start up anything, because there are people out there who might take action against that. Is trying to discourage any sort of maybe upswell and support for, hey, maybe like we shouldn't have to just live in this city. Maybe we should be allowed to live out in society like everybody else. He's trying to say, no, let's not get there just yet. How about you just take care of this cult first?
No, we don't want too much progress now. Yeah.
But yeah, the bulk of the episode though is Shiro investigating Pinga, not Pingu. People wanted to call him Pingu. Because he's suspicious of him, and he's correct to be suspicious. And there's a great and obviously Michiru is like, why are you being mean to him? But then eventually it's like, why did you lie to me? And we get this great flight and fight sequence, which I think is the highlight of the whole episode.
Yeah, because of course Michiru is, she was tagging along with Pingua earlier, just swooping around the city, taking interviews, and I wish I could fly as well. Well, you can, Michiru, because you can turn into any animal if you just concentrate hard enough, and when the going gets tough, she's able to morph into a bird.
Like, it's a nice thing, because he's basically getting across his philosophies and stuff without being explicit in stating them. I thought it was a good way to get it across. And again, it kind of sets him up later on for like, none of the things he said doesn't not make him a terrorist, as your man pointed out.
Yes.
Which is very much so like the profiling kind of fucking thing. But
yes.
yeah.
He was going to use a fake bomb to scare them, unlike the what's it called? The fake Red Bull.
Crap. Yeah.
I mean the drink or something.
Yes. Yeah. It's like the Red Bull logo, but it's not quite.
I mean, it's a Red Bull on a thing, and your man drinks it. It's got like freaking, I don't know, Toro or something. I don't know.
Red Bill. Bill's the name of the bull.
He turns out to be a terrorist who is trying to assassinate Alan. And he's also a birdman, a falcon of some kind. But he is stopped by the cult themselves. To which Alan's like, oh, well, this is a problem at the end. Thank you very much for saving me.
If I should have underwritten that application to have you expelled, it's going to look bad for me. Ooh.
I do like having the two antagonists. Makes it a little bit more interesting than
like they're looking for different things, and those things are contrary to each other as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to just we have the good guy team and the bad guy team, because even on the good guy team we have your man and his cute partner, which is like, who the fuck is that? They're not no one's exactly working together on this thing. You have lots of different ways of looking at the world and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I was trying to say something here as well about the nature of fucking refugees and that, because they're saying like no. Well, he comes into the country this way, and he's an illegal immigrant. He's not like pursuing this path, which is out of necessity. For him, it's about migration. But we're saying about people who are fleeing from conflict. They haven't done this because they wanted to necessarily, because they're compelled to by some outside reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what's that?
Yeah, I think he studies that presumably in the play of Oedo Rocket as well, but Oedo Rocket, the TV series, gets 26 episodes to explore that, where this is doing it in one episode here. I think I need to go back and watch some of these other older stuff that he wrote, and because there's like a few live action movies of his plays as well, and I think it tends to be about like the people on the bottom rung of society. And sort of the salt of the earth, how that's a thing to fight for and find entertainment in, and I think that might be going somewhere with the other girl, the Fox girls, wanting to be a pop idol. So I think that bit of it is going to play into it again.
Yeah, and they're definitely like contrasting her from Michiru, because obviously Michiru had that cool action sequence where she became bird-like and fought back and tried to catch.
I think even the basketball thing is that as well. It's like the entertainment of the masses is a theme he constantly comes back to.
It's weird. Like it seems like fairly simplistic and not much depth to what it's doing. But there's definitely a lot you can read into it and a lot you can interpret from what's there. But other than that, it is still consistently quite a good show.
Then we've got Extra Olympia Kyklos, episode 12, Goodbye Sparta, in which Demetrios is having a panic attack. He can't think of what sport to put in their Olympia.
Because they've convinced them to not have war on them, because it's like, we suck so bad, it would actually be bad for you. Sparta conquers our piece of shit village. It's just like, you don't want a monument to that. That'll make you look bad.
You don't want that in your record, man. You know, people will think that's just some kind of pity vote. No, you don't want that number. So
yeah,
let's do it the other way. Let's do it with sports. You know, you'll beat
I mean,
us
you're going to
anyway.
win anyway. So, and they're like, yeah, we'll beat you at anything. It's like, cool, we'll pick the sport then. So Demetrius is like, cool, I'll just travel to the future and figure out what to do. Come on.
The weather's too nice. You cannot travel without lightning.
But fortunately, does the dolphin have a name, or is it just a dolphin?
I think it's just a dolphin. I don't think it's been named.
But might not even be the same dolphin we see every time. We've been like 12 different dolphins we've seen.
How many dolphins do you know that are into pottery?
Yes, he brings him a vase full of the Spartans' blood soup from the previous episode, and he's like, "Oh yes, excellent. That you think that might be terrible enough an experience that it might send me into the
shock
future.
of it will send me to the future."
So he have some vomits. That didn't work. Let me try again.
Come on, time slip. Time slip.
While he was singing that between buoys, I did chuckle a little bit, because I was just like, for fuck's sake, this is horrible.
I like it because it's multicolored plasticine. It's
no, like I get like that. It's definitely like that. I don't know who started that thing of like making vomit appear as sparkles, but that I've seen that in a few things now. But the plasticine obviously really works in this as a funny joke.
I think that they just wanted to. You can't get away with depicting vomit in certain ways, but we can do it. Oh, here's that in a hilarious way, and then it's
in an amusing way. I don't know who started it, but yeah, it's a trend I'm not averse to, because vomiting's gross.
It makes it more hilarious, if anything.
Yeah.
I was about to go for a third serving when he realizes, oh no, the dolphin has actually brought this particular vase to help him. Because he's drawn on, it's the one he painted on the school day bread race. And he realizes, that's it, that's how I get these Spartans. Because we do a bread race, and I fill the bread rolls with such elegant and exciting food that they cannot eat it without betraying their Spartan ideals.
The lobster roll. Oh man,
the one that sounds pretty simple is he's like, but it has a recommendation on it from like a 5-star chef or something like that.
They've all been baked by like Aristophanes, who's got that great write-up in ancient Greek baking there the other week. Oh man, he's so good.
The other thing that made me laugh was him like trying to bite the bread but not being able to, and just lolling his tongue. That was a really funny image. He's like, if I do this to King of Sparta, I'll kick my ass. Good stuff.
Then Demetrius, he tastes the bread, and it tastes of victory. Yeah.
Dear. And I do like the mayor coming in. It's like, hey folks, it's not over. We got one more episode. just at the last second. Just in case you thought it was a 12-episode dealio.
I did, based on what the director had tweeted.
They had enough plasticine left over for another episode? Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. They did mention something about a second season, so.
Oh, fuck it. I'd be up for that. And I guess they've moved the Olympics, so yeah, they can do more of this, please.
There's more comic there to go over. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we get, of course, another final Spartan-based song.
Fucking loved it.
Oh, what a romantic ballad it is indeed. If you die in the battlefield, I will avenge you.
See, that's that weird thing where like they kind of tried to write homosexuality out of history. Everyone's fucking heard of Sparta, but the Sacred Band of Thebes isn't as big a thing, and they kick their ass. So it's kind of like. Also, just who had to do the job of like looking through a bunch of stock footage and find the most homoerotic ones? Good work if you get it.
I think a few of them as well. Like I just suspect they may have again just hired some local
yeah, for sure.
actors. Just to just do it and be silly. It's easy work and it's fun to watch when it's used like this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you to doubt the metadata on the stock footage as well? I'm sure it's all fully tagged up.
It's probably, yeah.
Then we've got God of High School, episode 6, Fear 6. This may be the breaking point for me. Hopefully it'll get simpler again next week. Too many characters.
There's so many.
At least they kill off a bunch.
But to kill off that one, like, again, a guy we didn't know we needed to care about, the referee, he's a fun dude.
No, they didn't kill him off until they show him the fact that he has a wife and kid and he's blind. It's like, fucking...
It makes you think, oh, right, he's in this, and so because then some dude comes up and screws up and think, oh, he's some kind of secret blind master, right? No, he gets murdered in the street.
Like, I presume he is a blind master or something, because, like, he did hold guys back in the ring, and he has some sort of, like, sixth sense or something like that, but, yeah, this guy still killed him. And the same guy did kill one of the badass dudes as well, so...
And the up the next fight, it's like, where's your referee gone to? Oh, no. Yeah. But yeah, so many guys. We get our bronze medal match between Mira and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu dude who get to take the pounding again. Never going to get a break. Poor fella. Oh well.
Yeah.
Let's say if we got our top 3 champions. Well, that's because you need a top 3 because the next round goes national, baby. It's going to be a team-based effort. Oh, and now we. It then goes up in characters in an order of magnitude because you get one sets of 3 that's introduced rapidly. Yes. You get maybe a minute or less with each of them, and you gotta figure out okay, what's the deal with these? You gotta
hopefully it's just a way to run through. Is like, here are all the guys you're going to be dealing with, but then on their fights we'll actually be dealing with them as an individual 3-man teams.
Also, Park Mujin has copped that the cult to teach the evil Taekwondo are they sent their agents out. So now he's going to call in the Celestial Six or the 6 fucking big shots in. And we get introduced to each of them. There was one of them was like an acupuncture doctor. He meets up with actually Jin and the gang meet him literally crossing the street, and he sticks a needle in Jin's leg to get rid of that sprain that he had, and it's like, oh, it feels a lot better. And
he's going to train Jin just to spite Jin's granddad.
Yeah. Who has been, he's been captured by the cult or cornered by them.
Killed by the cult, maybe.
Well, we see later on, when we get back to the forest clearing, that we see him in this running his mouth against this whole host of cultists that they've all been laid out. Either dead or unconscious.
I presume dead based off the fact that the forest that he was in seems exploded. But then the main cult guy in red brings a sword from heaven?
Yes.
A giant sword?
Apparently predates God.
Yeah. I forgot what it said in it. It's like, I do not know who the child is, whose child it is. It was there before God or something. Yeah. I can't remember the specific way it was worded.
This is an organization called Nox.
That was good.
Yeah. And we also get an explanation of whatever the special power is, because Hawaii's like, hi. Yeah, it's like, can you explain why we've seen people summoning giant monsters? And Park's like, come over to this poster I've got on the wall, and I'll make a speech to you. It's because people can summon, pull out the powers of the gods and famous people from history and famous fictional people from history, like myths and legends and gods and real people. You can pull out that, and also apparently everybody they're going to be fighting in this next round is going to be able to do this.
Yeah, so you guys need to level up pretty fucking quick. I presume your man's 4 different forms are going to go up. The referee was talking to your one out of in the park, going like, you haven't brought out the true power of the Moonlight Sword yet. And I was like, what, is she going to summon a moon? I don't know, maybe.
Well, I know what her thing is, and I don't know how it relates to that. Well, maybe I would if I knew more about the guy, other than when he shows up in Dynasty Warriors 2.
All right, Lou Boo.
Yeah, that's it, Niall. that is what her power is.
The famous
Lou Boo.
She is Lou Boo, yes.
Okay.
Cow. Ooh.
And obviously we know that it's quite clear that he's the Monkey King, don't we, from of Jin's book.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, like it did like
Zero.
focus. It's like here's a turtle, here's some priest guy, here's the fucking Monkey King. It's like, yeah, on your poster, I see it. It's cool.
That being said, when they flashed up all these different like teams and guys on the scoreboard, that's really some interesting characters there. There will be someone who uses double nunchucks after seeing that fiddler guy in the battle royale in the first round get knocked out. Presumably, he's like, "Oh man, won't be seeing any of that again." But no, they thought about that. They thought we wouldn't leave that hanging. We're going to come back to that. Here's someone with double nunchucks in the nationals. It might last a little bit longer. That'd be good.
One of them's the grandchild of one of the 6. We see the guy who looks like Zappelli if he hadn't died and lived to become a grandfather.
Yeah. That dude and his maid.
Yeah, there's a homeless guy. Is one of the 6.
Is that the guy who's the Hulk?
Yeah,
I know they all had cool nicknames. Like the
yeah.
guy who keeps going like there were more tiger cubs this year is literally called the Tiger Cub.
The Lone Shark. Who I assume is just a lone shark.
Dear. Everyone gets like the Hulk, the Magician, the Tiger Cub. It's like, what are you going to be? Lone Shark? What? You could have just went with Shark though. It's like, nah.
And then we have one we don't see. But yeah, there's just so many characters. I was like, oh,
it's a little busy. Yeah.
Can we get to the next tournament so at least everyone will be like divided up nicely into segments? But I guess next week we'll deal with Judge Q being stabbed with a giant metal pole in his apartment.
Yeah. They got another judge as well, doesn't they? I think they got another one. I think they mentioned another level.
Yeah, the guy with glasses is Judge
Q.
No, Judge Q is the guy. Well, they both got glasses. That's the problem, isn't it? The guy with
the orange
guy
glasses
is a judge as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So presumably he was reasonably tough and got taken out.
Judge T is the announcer, the blind announcer, who got attacked by a guy in a teddy bear outfit. And Judge Q is the one who had to fight earlier in the series, and has
the guy who earlier in the episode again they had those sexy fucking sexy nurses, and he refuses to stop smoking during the interview portion. The green-haired guy.
Yeah. And Judge O at the end is wondering where Judge Q is, and then we cut to Judge Q's apartment, and
he's going to be a little late for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think he's a main character, so I think he's fine, or he'll make a remarkable recovery, probably from those nanobots.
That guy with the what was he, like the miracle doctor or something? The acupuncturist guy. Yeah. He kind of had the one arm kung fu master thing going on, but I'm kind of hoping they do the cheesy thing of like what was your man's name from Street Fighter? Oro. Like he looked like he had one arm, but he actually was keeping it inside the whole time. It's like makes me feel like this is so tough. It makes me feel like using both my arms.
Yeah.
I like that kind of cheesy kung fu-ness.
I will say, unlike
Tower, comic they would do it.
Yeah, sorry, carry on. Unlike Tower of God, at least being bombarded with characters, all the characters had got distinctive character designs.
Better fights as well. Let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, that's
definitely
the thing. There's going to be a tournament. Let's have a montage of what the tournament might look like. There's all these shadowy figures fights. Yeah, it's cracking stuff. But oh boy, yeah, my brain. I was like, oh God, this was the point where I wish they were going a little slower.
This is I think the one, well, maybe a few bits and other things, but this episode especially was one of the worst times for the condension, the kind of like compacting the fucking story to get to the good bits is really not working out in its favor.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I'm still all for it, man. I know if I can keep that many One Piece characters in my head, I can probably be able to manage a couple of these main ones. Well, I can at least say this also have an identifying characteristic like, hey, it's you with the double nunchucks. So I'm gonna remember you and look forward to when your fight is. So you can kind of pick them out in the crowd. That's good.
Righty-ho. Then we've got Fruits Basket, episode 19. There's just no way.
But there must be. It's gotta be Rin. You gotta have some hope. As she awakens at the house, and Toru's been minding her all this time. He gets like a kind of hazy vision. Is that my mother? No, it's even better than your mother. It's Toru. She's here. She's gonna mind you and say, "No, get away from me."
She's kind of deadly afraid of Toru because she knows Toru opens your heart up from everything she's been told and everything, and by her ex-boyfriend. It's kind of like, is she like super special? It's like, no, she's pretty normal, but she's just like a decent person who wants to bring out the decency in you and that kind of thing. And she's just like, I don't deserve that. I'm gonna fucking avoid that like the plague.
Tries to escape the house, but she's still not very well at all. Like a Tori has come by and says you need to go to the hospital, but she's not having none of it. But he's just trying to really fun to get out of there, and it's not because he hates Toru or whatever. That's just like, no, she's a kind person. I don't want to drag her into this. And she wants so much just to sort of just let it all out, but she just is thinking this is just her goal. This is her kind of her duty. This is her mission. She just got to see it out by herself.
When she says to like Toru, it's like, hey, you trying to break the curse as well? Well, don't fucking bother. You're outside of this. You don't know nothing. That kind of stuff. And she even internally saying, is like, I don't believe this, but I'm just trying to like hurt her to the point where she runs the fuck away from doing this. I'll break the curse myself without anyone's help, kind of thing. And Toru is obviously just empathetic and sympathetic to her because that's her character.
Like River runs out of the house and she trips over her and she falls, and just Toru goes in there, and then just in that moment she just sort of Rin submits to like her longings of saying, I just want someone, Jesus, just to fucking give me a break from this for a second. She just wants like someone to just kind of to fall into their arms and just to mind them. And just she's fucking carrying all this by herself for so long. And Toru, of course, you can know that you can't do everything by yourself. I know what that can feel like to an extent.
She doesn't know like literally what it's like to have your parents disown you, but she doesn't know what it's like to lose your parents, to lose that comfort, to be alone. She can sympathize and understand that, not if one for one, like a way that the way the Rin feels. They do have that connection there.
Sorry, my sound is cutting out on me.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, there you're back now. Right. Don't mind that. So that's when they start getting a bit closer again. They start just like opening up to her, and the car just talk openly about, okay, like I've looked to break the curse myself. I've looked every which way you can, if you can. Like it throws the whole like meetings with Shigure into a new light, because from what we saw, it's like there's something absolutely like sleazy going on here. But they were just meeting in secret. She's trying to get information out of him, what he knows about breaking the curse, because now he's close to Akito, of course. But she's just like, there's no way that anybody I've asked her found out about doesn't know. What about Kureno? No, he's like really close to Akito. No, he's his right hand man after all. So maybe that's who we should get to ask him from. Saying Kura doesn't know nothing. Like he's like, he won't talk to anybody. I've tried to get him to talk to him, but it's not going to work.
Like he's too close to Akito. He won't talk. It's just like he's subservient. That's why she went with your man who lives outside of the Soma estate. It's like, okay, so he's not like right in there. But Toru's like, no, he seemed like a decent guy. I'm gonna go to him.
He's our best lead. Do it. But Rin kind of presses on her then. Well, why are you like doing all this anyway? Like, what do you value most? Like, what is this all going towards? And what's kind of compelling you and motivating you to do this? And Toru can't go answer it, because it was simply tries to like think back to, I'm doing this because it's what my mother would have done or what my mother would have wanted. But now she's kind of thinking differently. No, well, there's nothing really in the mom manual about this.
She's like, it's simple. And then she's like, I don't have a simple response to that. What the fuck? Why can't I respond to this with the obvious bruntness that I tend to do everything else with in life? And she kind of has to dwell on that for a bit.
Well, it's obvious because this is like as much as she's trying to suppress it and put it down, just like, she's doing this because it's connected or with a past that she doesn't want to reckon with just yet.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
to share anything up. You know, it's about sort of she knows what it's like to be alone. Like I mean, sees that in her as well. You know, that's why they kind of up to her in the first place. That they take. No, well, she doesn't know it the exact same way, but I know what it is that like that is.
Yeah, yeah.
But as well, like she's a kind person, which reminds her of Haru in a way as well, who's also a kind person. But the thing is with kind people is that they're very easy to take advantage of.
Yeah, and she'll actually hurt kind people if Rin will, if she thinks it'll help them in the long run. But yeah, as they kind of get through it, she does get into hospital for whatever kind of long-term illness she has, and Haru's happy out because when he went to visit her, she attacked him with the IV drip, and he's like, "Oh, brilliant! She's full of beans. Good to see." But yeah, so it's kind of like ended in a place where it's like, yeah, they're getting there, they're getting along it, they're a few steps further, but they're not quite there yet. And yeah, no, another good one. Not as like emotionally wrenching as the last time, but it's kind of trying to bring it to a place of we'll pull ourselves out of this hole in this episode. So
yeah. Even like Raiden was not having any of the hospital food and reviews and things, but Toro just thought that I'll make some jelly because that's the only thing that you'll eat in there. So I'll make some
it's like,
homemade
well,
jelly for.
if you don't like any of this food, what food do you like? And it's like jelly, and she's like, I'll fucking make some then.
That's little Kyklos and thing, and she's this at night in her hospital bed just has a spoon of that, and it's just like it's pretty good. But that's like the most like positive we've seen her.
yeah, her actually letting herself be happy in some very fucking small way in her life. It's probably the only time she does it, I think. Yeah.
Yuki is kind of in the background all this as well, and you're kind of getting a better sense of what Toru is to him now.
Yeah.
It's just like, because you're saying that you feel like it's not the same way Rin does. I think where you love Toru was less like a possible romantic partner, but more like she's like the mammy you never had, which makes it kind of weird. Because here's someone who's her own age, and you kind of see her as this mammy to you.
Well, yeah, maybe it's a more familial love than a romantic love. Is probably the way it's leaning. Yeah. You have that kind of intimacy and closeness, but not a romantic intimacy and closeness. That's a different thing.
Then yeah, but that's kind of it now.
That's it. Can we move on to the bananas?
Oh, we can. Yes. Sorry to keep you.
Wacky TV Nanana, episode 18. Octopus. Hachiro's pub. In which the lads find themselves in a pub run by this guy called Hachiro, trying to get information about where the Kraken is. But in the meantime, would you like some food? So you pick from the menu. Anything you like, as long as it's octopus.
I'll be like, the octopus, everything here is octopus themed. They're like, it's a little fucking too much. Like the octopus print on the cushions, like it's fucking, I don't know, man. You're laying it on a bit thick.
I think I know what a Kraken went to. Ooh.
Well, they literally say the Kraken hooks them up, like.
Yes, and they keep on spitting. It's like all the guys who work for him look like octopuses, and Hachiro seems to spit black spit.
Yeah, they all look like octopuses. They spit on their pens to fucking write down the orders and shit.
That's free ink, isn't it?
Yeah. It's gross, but yeah. Octopus pun.
Yeah. Blackface joke, unfortunately, at the end. Would you agree that's a blackface joke at the end?
Oh, sorry. No, your sound went there in a sec.
Okay.
Probably. I wasn't too sure. Like, especially after doing the blue face guy the last fucking time. I'm like, yeah.
You're pushing it, lads.
Yeah, there is. I thought it was because it reminded me of wanting Kamen Rider Wizard, where I was like, oh, lads.
Yeah.
Can
Don't
you not
do that.
Yeah. Do octopuses grow their tentacles back? Is that what's going on in that?
Uh,
They do, I believe, yeah.
I think they do. Hmm. I'm not
So I
going
was
to test
thinking,
it just out of curiosity, but yeah.
Starfish, yeah. I think octopi, yeah, they do.
like a starfish, an octopus can regrow lost arms.
Yeah.
How octopus arms regenerate with ease on Scientific American's blog.
I thought it was like they could grow back most of their arms, but I think like a thing with an octopus, it actually has like two dominant tentacles or something like that.
If your hands could smell, you'd be an octopus. So that's why I was thinking where they were getting all their octopus from. And also why they look like humans. Just chop off 4 limbs. We're good. We can pass. We've got a meal to serve up, and they'll never know we're octopuses.
Could be. But yeah, they. I did like the joke of was like, wow, we haven't had anyone off the island in 20 years. Wonder what happened to those 15-year-old boys. And it's like they became middle-aged men. What the fuck do you think happened?
Rightio, moving on. Deca-Dence, episode 6, Radiator, in which we go to prison. You've been part of one capitalist system, now you're part of the prison industrial complex. They're giving him a second chance to become part of the system again. If he proves himself in prison, he can come back. Or at least that's the lie that they're all told, apparently, when they're sent to be rehabilitated in prison. Where we get to meet Sarkozy, the character I've been looking forward to meet ever since I've seen his character design. He did not disappoint. He's the guy who knows how to survive in prison, how not to get crushed to death by gadol shit. Because that is apparently what they have to do, is they have to break down gadol shit and then turn it into a form of oxyone that does not look as pure as the version we've seen so far, made from.
No one seems to enjoy. Can I call it drinking it when you jam it in their butt? I don't think I can call it that drinking, but yes.
But Sarkozy is brewing oxyone liquor in his own chin.
Like a combination of the shit stuff that they give you and literal shit. That's the good shit.
Well, you don't need to keep it behind a radiator when it's just inside your face, you know.
Yeah, and he does explain it's like, yeah, the whole thing is bullshit. They actually basically sent you down here to go mad or die by being crushed by shit. And even if you could escape, like, we're at the bottom of a fucking lake. The pressure would fucking kill you. Bottom of a lake or bottom of the sea? But yeah,
bottom of a lake.
Yeah.
It's below the lab where we see like genetic engineers growing new gadols to release into the wild.
Presumably the gadol's like I don't know, like an insect or something like that. Like they have water larvae and then they're on the land after.
So that's the curious thing, because the scientist has got another pet one, like pipe, that looks different, but he's got a pet one.
It's not a monstrous one; it's a cute one, and he's just there whipping it, trying to get it to do tricks or something.
Yeah. That was the extra little bit of information that I was not expecting to get this episode. But yes, unlike everybody else, Kaburagi will not have his will be broken because he's got to get out of here.
He's got a reason to get out of here.
As it turns out, there is a way to sort of get out of here, because his old fellow rankers are also down here, failing to be rehabilitated because they've set up their own. They've got access to Deca-Dence through a back door. But in order to be able to join their gang, he's got to battle Donatello. What's the battle they call it?
Oh
yeah, I can't think of the name of it.
Oh man, they were chanting it.
Yeah,
I know. I just remember it's them hitting each other with shovels on a rotating poles above a pit of gadol shit.
Brute brawl, blast, brute. I don't know.
I feel like I've played that in a game.
Yes, it's very it's very cheap post-apocalyptic action movie from the 80s action scene. Except because it looks much better than that, because it's a cartoon. You don't have to worry about not having the money to do the stunts properly. and it's doubly good because it's done by really weird character design.
See, like, this has suddenly become absolutely, like, in this episode, no fucking humans, Brian, it becomes the show that you want to see of all just little weirdos and all odd shapes.
Well, we do check in on Natsume and her hero.
Kurenai.
Yeah, where Kurenai is doting over Pipe.
Yeah.
I don't like the way she was trying to hide it. And it was like, oh, cute girl, would you go? And it's like, okay, I guess this is fine. I'm not going to get in trouble for this. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and the kind of wondering a lot as well. It's been really quiet lately. There's no fucking ghettos running about for us to go out and kill us. That's right, because the DLC launched out of order. So now you need server downtime to get repopulated with beasts for you to fight.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that as well. From life. But I did like the way initially Kabaragi's like, I gotta get out here quick. They're in fucking level 3 and they're not ready for it yet. And it's like, Menzo's like, no, they're fine. Don't worry about it. The thing got rolled back because, you got more development time.
So Kabaragi wins, but he also saves Donatello. And it turns out both of them could have cheated during the fight, and neither of them did.
But they're too honorable. I fucking love that. It was just like too badass. But it's like both of them look stupid. I mean, like, I guess Donatello looks at least slightly threatening with the big trap jaw thing, but he's still a cartoon fucking one.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
So the other guy who tries to kill Kabaragi after this, but Donatello stops him. I can't remember who the other guy's name is. The one who reminds me of Roberto from Futurama.
Turkey.
His eyes being at the side.
He reminds me of fuck, I've forgotten the little chameleon guys from the first Sonic game. I don't know why. Just I think it's the eyes on either side or something like that. And he's a robot, so yeah.
Yeah. What's the new one who's introduced? The other new character,
Jill.
the lady Jill. Yes.
Yes.
Who's
like over
you boys
this shit.
Yes.
You boys don't want to stove each other's heads in with shovels. Tish.
And she's voiced, I've forgotten her name now. It's the actress who plays the mink in BNA.
Yeah. Just talk about one character actor, just one get her in, and just do your thing, lady.
But it's the perfect voice for that character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the question is, what did she do compared to all the other guys? Because some of them just also appear to be broken down. That's the other thing.
Well, presumably any kind of rebelling against the system, including being broken down, is punishable by jail forever.
Yeah, I presume that's because she's presumably was it the brains behind setting up this terminal so you can log into it. Probably was some master hacker and close to the truth.
Could be.
Or maybe, or no, maybe not even a hacker. Maybe somebody who was responsible for designing it in the first place.
Oh, like a programmer or designer. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it definitely felt like, oh, this is the start of the next arc here. This is we've got these characters back who we've not seen for a while. We've got 2 new characters. We've got a new situation. When Kabaragi goes back in the next episode, he's going to look entirely different and have a different name.
Yeah, he's going to have to have a new avatar. So are we going to get an avatar making process?
Create a wrestler.
Whole episode.
Yeah.
Just the whole episode of him messing with sliders in order to try and get his face right. It's like, I want my face to be just... No, this is fucking... You're going to put a helmet on for the fucking gameplay. What's the point?
The name, though, is going to be like the last 15 minutes for the name. Just like that. No, backspace.
Kabaragi 363 is taken. Fucking what?
Big McLartuge. Yeah, there we go.
Then, next up on the list, we've got Appare-Ranman, episode 7, Fake. In which
I guess that wasn't Gil.
That was not Gil.
No.
He said he was the last episode, but
There's a lot of Gills out there. Gilberts, Gildaz, Gilfrieds.
Also, I made a mistake as to which one was Dastardly and which one was Muttley. So
yes. We initially get I think it's Chase imagining how the plan would work perfectly, and then we get Chase having the plan not work perfectly when Appare reveals that the car has 2 engines. The first hybrid car.
The diesel engine heats up the steam for the steam engine, but I can also run the diesel engine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it causes massive overheating, obviously. So,
yeah, because the diesel engine's doing 2 things at the same time.
Yes, and he wants to stay in the slipstream of Gil's car, but he's convinced that we've got to go and help everybody else. You can't be selfish.
Yeah, we got to warn them ahead of time. And it's like, yeah, but if we stick behind them, we'll get ahead of it. And he's like, no, okay, we'll go and help him.
Like, you doesn't have like a logical sort of get out for it as well. It's just like it is just him very much kind of grappling. Should be fucking morally responsible, okay?
So you get the slightly going wrong evil plan, but also just like the cool chase. I did like the way your man who what's the guy's name who's playing the music constantly?
Oh, TJ. Yes.
TJ, when TJ was like, hey, I'm not doing any of the work. You guys wake me up when you clear the fucking way. And then at the end, like when they all get through and he's one of the guys trapped behind, he's kind of popping up from the car going like, what? Oh fuck. Behind everyone else.
Yeah, because TJ and Dylan get left behind because Dylan gets out of the car to hunt down Gil's henchmen. And as you say, TJ is just asleep in his car. And it's not until the dynamite goes off he gets woken up.
Yeah.
But they managed to avoid the explosions, but Appare, Kasami, and Hoshito then break down. But Al and Jing come back and tow them.
And he's like, but that doesn't make any sense. You could get ahead of me. And it's like, I don't want to fucking win like that. And they're like, come on, it's grand, man. We're friends. It's cool.
Yeah. And as well to kind of like throw it back at them is just like, well, with all delays, I mean, like no, like they won't like be starting for a few hours anyway, and like TJ and Dylan, they've had to take a long way around to Death Valley with TJ blaring the tunes out the window, driving alongside Dylan, driving him crazy over the whole journey.
I love the fact your man was like, and he's like, what the fuck, dude? What's up with your music? And he's like, this song changed the fucking world, man. And it's like, no, I'm not a problem with the music. I have a problem with your fucking singing. It's terrible. And he's not singing to the song at all. He's like, and it's just like, oh, that would do your head in, right?
Do you have any Doobie Brothers? No, they won't form together for another 75 or so years.
Dang.
Which they're just kind of saying, well, we don't want to win like in a fake way. The same way you want to win with your car, with your own skill. It's fine. This isn't like helping you win the race. This is helping you just fucking get to the next town. I mean, this stage is off, and there'll be plenty of chances up the line to make our mark anyway. So we'd rather like help somebody else rather than and beat you evenly like a real rival.
Yeah. And we get a nice little scene of them camping overnight, and where we get the great bits with Kasame and new Hotato and old Hotato.
And the guys are going like, that's just confusing. Why would you do that?
I'm just doing the whole thing. Oh, which Hotato do you mean? Oh, not that one, that one. Which one do you mean is cute? Oh, well, both of them, of course. Oh, how diplomatic of you. Even better is I was about to say Senku, Appare, who is a bit of a loose end and is not much use contributing to like general survival and camping skills.
He wants to help out in some other ways, and he only lightens up when your one kind of goes like, "Hey, would you like try and look at my car and fix it up a bit?" And he's like, "I think I can do."
I think else... she was just being kind there.
Yeah, I think it was probably fine. Just give it a once over. It'll make him happy.
Yeah. It's all a lesson towards, well, you can't actually, Appare, you can't do everything yourself.
Our boy who claims to be the leader of the group actually does some pretty good leading in this episode because he's off on his own kind of thing. It's like, why the fuck did I wait for the kid? That didn't make any fucking sense. And why didn't I go and not warn everyone beforehand? Because that would have given us a lead. I don't know why I'm doing these things. It's like people like think with 3 things, like their head, their heart, and their gut. And he's just like, I don't like the thought of that at all. That's stupid. It's only logic, surely. But just him kind of getting to terms with it's like, hey, you're not actually like a dick. You're a nice guy who just happens to be really smart.
Yeah, and Kasami's like he's doubly as it drives home more this episode is that he's super empathic to Hotato because he was that child who had his parent murdered in front of him.
You don't know what it's like to have your parent murdered in front of you. It's like, heck, no, I'll leave you off for now. Okay, we'll come back to it.
Yeah, well, he had mentioned earlier in the episode, it's like, oh yeah, my mother, she died when I was young. I thought, oh, I think I know the one thing behind your fear of drawing your sword.
Yeah.
They catch up. They get to the next checkpoint just as Gil's about to leave, and they block his path to try and get a ruling on using dynamite in the race.
There's no rule against it. A dog can use dynamite to blow up a canyon.
And everyone moves away apart from Hotato once they get that cleared up, because he wants revenge, and it's too much for Gil. And Gil steps out and takes his mask off, and he's crying as well because he's not Gil. He's a big soft-hearted guy with the greatest facial design of the series so far.
Is it the snaggletooth? I think it's
the snaggletooth and the eyes and like the height of the sideburns. He's just got the softest, most lovable face. And then he rubs the tattoo off. It's like, we were just pretending to be Gil. We're not really. Nobody knows who we are, but in the Midwest, everybody knows the name the Bad Brothers, and everyone's like, no, we don't know.
The what brothers?
No.
Wright brothers. Those guys got some ideas.
Yeah. They were just pretending to be worse outlaws than they are. They'd never kill women and children.
And that fits into the last thing where it's like, we're going to leave you to blow up with the dynamite, kid. And then he wakes up just beside the road and he's like, wait, what? They were just like, we're not going to fucking kill a kid. That's fucked up. Which is why when they were saying to the other guys, it's like, well, if a few of them die in the explosion, I guess too bad. And they were more so like, yeah, let's hopefully not kill anyone. Because that wouldn't be great.
But their plan was minimize loss of life. Because that meant it was plenty of time for a controlled detonation that would not have any innocent bystanders close by.
Yeah. With the signal that they would have given off, the other racers would have been way behind at that stage.
Well, I guess we can all be friends now, so you won't have this hanging over us, when you go to love these characters after seeing their antics in the race.
I was hoping the fact that they had the lead would be like, now, Muttley, we've got a new thing that we're going to put in the way of the fucking road. And I was just like, yeah, they got like so much of a head start. They're going to spend it all just devising traps.
They can still do that.
They can still do it. Sure. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but the real Gil is out there somewhere.
Yes, but as this conversation is going to end, Appare walks back and asks,
with wrench in hand,
is it against the law to sabotage another driver's car?
And he's like, not in the bylaws, no. And it's like, cool. And then their car like falls apart on comedy queue, and that'll take 8 hours to fix. Ha ha.
We're equal again.
They should really start changing the rules as this fucking race goes.
Well, I'm sure like the other racers who haven't had their car disassembled, who.
I assume he disassembled all the fucking cars. Yeah.
No, I think the other two had already driven off.
Have they?
Yeah, they weren't there in the background after the conversation had finished, which was the super sus guy and a guy who is not important.
Yeah.
Character design not appearing in this anime. Bobby something or other, I think the name was. But Richard Reisman was number 2. And then the preview for next, or was it the end, or was it the preview? There seems to be like a bunch of cowboys, one of which has got the Gil.
It was just at the end. Next tattoo. Bunch of banditos. Some
bad doings are transpiring. Looks like it's going to be still exciting.
Yeah. More racing. I want to see more like just more stupid stunts and plots like that, and more of Appare doing the slow motion fun, calculate the angle of the Darcy's falling boulders.
That was pretty fun.
We could just make it zoom.
Next up, Millionaire Detective, episode 5. If money be not thy servant, it will be thy master.
Francis Bacon.
Delicious bacon.
in which we are introduced to what I would guess is the plot of the show. A country called Polyador.
I kept thinking Polydor Records every
So
time
did
I
I,
saw
yes.
it. Did you?
Yeah.
The president of Polydor Records is coming by. He's amassed enough platinum albums to build a 300 billion yen dam. And I want your help from Canvas Company to co-sign the deal.
And the division are going to help out on security. Everyone needs to go, but not the old guy offers to come, but he's got that day off that day. He doesn't need to come in.
I didn't realize what
Nakamoto.
your man reacting, Daisuke reacting to that, what was about until later on when it's like, no, I will not inherit this company. Because you look at the other guy, he's like, oh, you're going to retire soon. And he's just looking on going like, and it's like, okay, there's definitely something's going on there.
Yeah, I've read a whole bunch of things this episode seems to reveal. Before we introduce, we got Polyador is the first thing, yeah. Then Kanbei has phoned in sick, or phoned in because he can't come in today because his
granny's sick.
His granny's sick, and then as they watch all these cars drive in, this long white stretch comes in and he gets out. Dressed up for business.
How'd he get in? I was invited.
Yeah.
He couldn't get into work to do his job, but he could get into work to do his family obligations, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we see a chef about to be murdered by a guy who's pretending to be part of the Division 1 security, which is very interesting. I'd just done a workplace security training seminar thing today.
Is it like don't walk into a fucking storeroom with your back turned and open a mysterious bag? You're going like, oh, what's that for?
Don't necessarily trust people dressed like they should be working there or in a uniform.
Yeah.
Especially if when they're sampling your cooking, it reminds them of their fields, in the specific province of this country. Like, isn't that the country where there's like a lot of like fucking civil war, or there's like armed militants running around there?
Isn't that the area of that country that this guy is specifically coming here to flood for like hydroelectric dams and shit?
I was like,
anyways, there's a package in the back room for you.
Yeah, I believe there was a package sent here.
By mistake.
Sent ahead, yes, and I was like, that's kind of literally a thing which was in that seminar I had to sit through today.
Like that's the thing, people send it to the wrong.
It has to be.
I guess, like he said, it was supposed to be to the security department, but obviously it went to the kitchen by mistake.
Yes,
and I guess that's an easy way to get it in. Like you send a thing into the wrong place, and they're just like, oh, it's just the wrong package. Yeah.
Yeah, and if it looks for the security, they're not necessarily going to scan it or flag it up to people. No, his plan was pretty sound. And it wasn't.
It was so sound you had to specifically do a fucking thing in work to not let a plan like this happen.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Not let people come in who shouldn't be in the building. Yeah. So these Division 1 guys are useless. I mean, our heroes were not really given much to do beyond stand outside a building, which seems to be the main thing they get asked to do, is stand outside a building doing
They were just there to make up numbers. Like, we don't have enough guys to stand outside the building, basically.
Yeah, and they were kind of pissed off with it, but like, Howard was thinking, look, let's just show that we're not a bunch of fuck-ups, okay? Well, let's just want to do our thing right here, all right? Even though they get the lunch order comes in, it's like, oh, these like great lunches. Like, come on, these are class. Like, what the fuck are you doing eating our lunches? Oh,
yeah, and reacting like, wow, these are pretty good. It's like, oh, we got extra. Hey, you old janitor man, you want one of these? Yeah, come on, man, come get in on this. And then they have to go like, oh, sorry, old man, you got to give the lunch back.
Yeah,
but they're mad at us now.
My favorite bit with the regular cast is when Haru tries to get Kamai to lift him up on his shoulders.
He's great in this because he's just like, he's not physically fit to be a cop.
Unfit.
But the way Harry's just standing there with his hands in his pockets, Harry appears to be doing no help in terms of positioning himself to be lifted.
Well, he just assumes everyone is as physically fit as him. It's just like, I'll just fucking take it easy and be cool, and he'll be able to lift me up. And your man's just like, can't do it. No.
I do need to go home sick.
And they make him run so much.
Yes.
Dear.
But the murder is essentially a trick to get the president into the panic room, where the guy has set up a timed release
nerve gas.
Nerve gas. That's the word I was looking for. Nerve toxin.
Yeah, because as they're analyzing it and checking the footage and shit, it's like, he was in here earlier. What did he put in the wardrobe? And it's like, okay, this is Bed Miper Company releases this kind of, I think it was like tear gas, but it's been modified to release deadly nerve gas. And the security guy's like, oh shit. I recognize that. Yeah.
And when you know the inside man was the security person who has the only key to the panic room, which is this weird star-shaped joke, and he just run off with it. And
the lad's waiting outside. Yeah, I did like that, because your one is just this super friendly
Psyche, yes.
Yeah, she's great. She's talking to the old man. It's like, wow, what a trendy necklace. And it's like,
he's a little embarrassed, as we learned why he's embarrassed later.
That was
that
was
right at the end.
I thought for a little while that was Cho-san, this incognito, because he wanted to be on the case, on the scene as well, but I thought he was there incognito.
No, it's just a weird old man.
But as it turns out, Chosuke is on the scene, as we learned that towards the end.
Yeah.
He's doing his own investigation.
The fella runs off up the street. Then that's why as when they're trying to look over the wall, and so they break off in pursuit. Kamba, you come with me. He's like, oh fuck, I gotta do this. Oh, and they fucking peg it after him.
I like the way the other two words like, I guess we don't have to do anything.
It's like, you get to the top of the hill. Okay, we get around the pincer movement, and we get from both sides. And Kamba's going, no, I'm fucked. Oh, you go on ahead. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, go back up. Oh man, but you try to cover back up, but there's no reception in the area because the signal is being jammed within like a 1 kilometer radius.
Yeah, that's why he wanted to have a look up on the wall before there was like an EMP or something like that clearly knocked out the security cameras, but he wanted to be lifted up and check the security camera.
Suzue had already figured something was up, and she's already on her way, but she'll only be there in 12 minutes, and the gas will go off in 8.
Well, I think she's technically going to be there just barely in the nick of time until she swerves to avoid a kitten.
Yes.
Updating sat-nav. Estimated time to arrival 9 minutes.
No good.
The big detail though is like, no, Kamba is in. He's like analyzing the footage. He's like running a lot through Hughes, through the AI butler, and like, getting on information. Okay, is this kind of nerve gas bomb? Okay, let's like look up the schematics for it and just pass this.
My company make this thing for tear gas. So yeah, give me the schematics for this.
I'm sorry, Kamba, I can't let you do that. Access denied. It's like, what? No, just search again. I'm sorry, Kamba. Access denied. I can't let you do that.
And he's kind of like, yeah, okay, so he has to like MacGyver a half-ass situation where he's gonna like dampen his jacket and use it to smother the gas temporarily for as long as that'll manage it.
Yeah, I do get Mario. He's holding his nerve. He's not.
Yeah.
He's keen a cool customer, even as this like thing
even when he doesn't have his super butler
on him.
yeah.
But luckily, Haru, he caught up to the inside man, but he's top of the building. He's got the only key. He tossed the key towards the drain, and then he runs the opposite direction. And Haru goes to chase him, but he's already jumped over the side and fallen to his death. And the key is falling down the drain. We've got no key, we've got no man to question him, to figure out how to disarm the bomb. We're fucked, unless.
Well, also he does have to. He's like, okay, ring him back and tell him that they need to open the thing, and they're like, yeah, the communication's down. It's like, I guess we have to run back. And man's like, oh, come on.
Yeah. But luckily, we had a spare key.
So. It's a good thing for old creeps.
Yeah, so Haru can throw open the door in the nick of time and rescue his boyfriend. I mean his partner.
Yeah. Ooh. To throw open the door, and like he's just throwing the jacket on, and it's like the bomb's about to go, and he just rushes out, and your man's like, hey, fucking thank me or something, and they're like, oh shit, we have to close the door again, because they don't know there's a bomb in there's no communication happening.
No.
But yeah, they get the door closed, and it's all thanks to one old pervert.
Yep, yeah, spare key, mate, because he was using the, it's clean.
No one else is using the panic room.
He's got to clean every room. He used a key to get in there, and while he's in there, he may as well, just kick back and relax for about a half hour or so.
That's generous.
Varies from night to night.
I didn't need to see the details of what was in his creep bag that he left in the room.
The details were the explanation.
I suppose that's true. Yeah. But it put the images in my head, and I don't like that. And your one is so nice. It's like, oh, it's a good thing he had those things in the room, huh? It's a good thing he had the key med for himself. And it's like, why are you so fucking happy about this? It's just like,
because Deadbay didn't get killed.
Yes.
Oh,
But
nice
it's
like... Kanbei, rather. Yes.
Yeah,
I do like how
true.
Harry was like, I saved you, as if to gloat while the gas is still coming out.
Yeah.
It's like, shut the door. It was like more important for him to gloat that he'd saved Kanbei than anything else.
He's a good guy, but we've learned in the couple of episodes that he is kind of shitty about gloating. Whether it's realizing that that you think you saved the guy's life, or the guy doesn't have as much money on him as he thinks, and that kind of shit. It's just like he rubs it in.
Yeah, and then we see the Daisuke observing Chosuke, who's been doing some more investigating, and like the parts for
the bomb,
all the stuff was, but also like the jabber. Some of it was from Polyador, but most of it was from Mizuho Futures.
So there's like something operating in the shadows there, trying to unseat the company and trying to possibly enact some kind of regime change or something like that, or some dodgy dealings happening.
Yeah, because there's that one line when he says he'll never be the head of the family.
Yeah, because when he's talking to the other guy, he's like, "Oh, I'm glad you could come here to negotiate this thing. I'm talking as one head of the corporation to the other," and he's like, "Nope, you got it wrong. I'm not actually going to be the head of this ever." And that seems to be a sore point, to put it mildly.
Yeah,
well, I don't know if sore or whether the grandmother's got some sort of plot.
That
he knows about that.
Did she force him as like, well, you're not going to inherit the company, so you better go get a career. How about detective?
I wonder if the spending of the money is part of it. I wonder if he's got to spend, whether it's a Brewster's Millions type thing. Where the family are trying to get rid of all the money they've made. Maybe they made it in not particularly pleasant ways, and the grandmother's decided it's got to get gone.
Yeah, use it to fight crime. I'll make you a crime computer. You spend like infinite money on fucking whatever the hell it is you want, because it's all dirty money anyway.
But he's not. Then he's troubled again by like, I couldn't access the information I needed because I was restricted for some reason.
Yeah.
What's that to do with it? Is access being limited, or is there something being kept from him that he's not privy to? Anyways, it's still I know we're adding in some another layer of creeping menace into this, so we'll pop up again. But it's very entertaining. It's just like distilled entertainment.
It is nice to see the other guys in the division as well, because they seem pretty fun.
It is. I think most of those are original characters for the
really?
For the anime, yeah.
Okay.
I say because I match. None of the names seem to match from the book description to the anime description. There's nobody who looks like Alfred E. Newman, for example. But yeah, I wonder. There's some details here where I'm like, okay, that might be where it's going. There's in the list of characters, the second character of the novels is Daisuke's father.
Okay.
So I wonder if that's where the situation of the having not inheriting the company and this urge to spend the money. Mizuho Future Technologies is this new name. So are they a rival company or a subsidiary or
what's the relation to
stealing their technology or what the deal is?
I'm also curious what the deal is with the chief. of their department, because he's like, at the start of it, he's apparently like creeping on someone who's like, hey, I'm gonna take you out of this place. It's fine, I'm totally harmless. And I was like, that's not a thing a harmless person says. But then he's talking to your man from the higher ups, and it's like, oh, I guess we're helping them out. It's like, does he have other things going on as well within the department? It's interesting anyway.
Yeah, I think there's something like that. There's something like, wasn't there something hinted in like the first episode along those lines? Of
He's
him
more so
and
working
the
with
higher
them
ups.
than.
Yeah, like they've also got some sort of plot to do with Daisuke, and specifically putting him in that department rather than Division 1. Anyway, onwards to Toei stuff. Healing Good Pretty Cure, episode 20, Unite Our Wishes, we are Cure Earth.
We're not Cure Earth, she's Cure Earth, or claims to be anyway. So that's an, who are you? What are you from? Like, okay, I looked like the old Pretty Cure. But I'm actually an apparition summoned here by Queen Deity and I was only born just like a few days ago. I'm kind of like a robot, and I'm programmed to make sure that Latte the puppy is kept safe. So I'm going to take her back with me to the heating garden. It's like, whoa, she's got a job to do here. Sorry, I'm gone. And tries to make like a graceful jump off the balcony, but then just falls to the ground. It's like, oh yeah, I can't fly it. I'm not a Pretty Cure mode. But we're trying to like convince her to stay. Hey, we're Latte friends as well. Like, okay, look, hey, how about sort of fighting? Let's ask Latte what she wants to do, and then okay, put a little telescope on. Okay, what do you want to do, puppy? It's like, well, what I really want to do is achoo. Oh no, there's a monster around. And we gotta go sort it out now. Now the appearance of a new Pretty Cure has finally gotten King Byogen to finally appear again. It's like, oh, it's actually developments in the plot. Okay, what's going on? Fatate Moto's saying, well, I've been out doing my thing, and these guys turned up. So, I think I got a deal for you. Okay, I'll sort this out, but in return, you're gonna like let me be like the head henchman, all right? Those other two guys that's been lazing around doing. I've been doing all the work, so just if I solve this problem for you, let me be the top dude. Okay, I'll get on to it. And he can do it because he's got a secret weapon. Because after the last fight, the monster left behind sort of this crystallized, hardened form of its infectious matter. And I use that to some evil end. But the muscly dude, Guairu, the big dumb dude, is like, hey, buddy. So I hear you've been doing a lot of hard work lately. You might have found some crystallite fragments of Mega Byogen material lying around. How about you just hand those over to your senpai, and I'll use these in a proper manner. Fun. Say, oh, feck off. Here you go. Fun. And the other one, here you go as well. Thanks, buddy. I'll give you credit when I accomplish something great with these. Okay, yeah, thanks. Well, I didn't give him all the stuff, obviously. I'm going to start some shit with this. So he does. He's made a solar panel monster, which is scarier than it sounds. It's kind of a pretty cool design. It can kind of shoot like a Mazinger-style breast fire thing out of the solar plates. It's pretty cool. And the girls are on the scene. They're die-kicking it. They're knocking the crap out of it. And they're kind of mostly on the ropes. But then Patate Moda just sticks in a bit of this crystallized stuff. And it just gets supersized immediately. And then it's immediately overwhelming them back. Now, Cure Earth, or this avatar of Irma, is just kind of standing by with Latte and saying, well, what do we do? Like, I'm programmed to keep you safe, so I shouldn't go near the monster. But I'm also programmed, to protect the healing garden from germ monsters. So what am I supposed to do? And like, Latte is saying, well, I gotta go and help him. But Princess, but Latte, you must. It isn't logical. You must be safe. I'm saying, no, but they're out there fighting for my life, for the good of me, for our sake, and it would be a slap in the face. It wouldn't be right to just like be safely ensconced somewhere and not be by their side when they need me to do. So I understand, Princess. I would obey your wishes. It is overridden her programming, and Latte kind of was able to imbue her with power and able to turn into Cure Earth. So she kind of is going to be her mascot partner thing. There's a whole transformation sequence. Looks really cool. You're probably a little bit right about being sort of like a kind of an Athena kind of thing, because her weapon, her like gadget, is like a Greek lyre kind of style thing.
Yeah, I think that's Aphrodite, isn't it, with the lyre?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at her biography on the official page, the official website. It looks like I'm about 20 years old, but I'm new to life and I don't understand the common sense of human beings.
Yeah, a robot. What do you say about, she's all powered up. She's gets into the fray. Because Patate Moto was in the mix there as well, running interference while they're trying to fight the monster. Everyone's saying, "I'll take care of this dude. You two girls fight the monster." And easy fun is like overwhelming him, just zipping around, just dodging blows, teleporting, leaving the after image. Classic stuff. All good. We gotta take out this monster. We've scanned the weak points. We gotta blast it. But it's got it in her grip. It's like, no worry, girls. I'll take care of this. Gonna start strumming this windy harp. Gonna start jamming on that. Summon a giant heating hurricane and just blast it right at it. And not just taking out the monster and like freeing the little sun sprite inside it, but it's like fucking the super beam and takes up Patate Moto as well. So he's never going to get that promotion. It's like, poor dude, he fun busted his ass making monsters and he gets wiped out like this. Oh, that's the end of him, I suppose. So it's like, shit, she's fucking mean business. She is quite the weapon in her arsenal. So there's other three going to get off their arses and start doing some work now. So she's really good at being a pretty cure, and is going to be a good addition to the team. But how she fits into human society, we got to teach the robot next week how she's going to fit in. We got to give her a name as well. We're going to call her Asumi Furin, because Asumi, it sounds a little bit like Earth, I suppose, depending on what characters or what way of pronouncing it in Japanese is. So, yeah. But yeah.
You should also say happy birthday to her, because her birthday was August the 16th.
Hey.
The day she turned into Earth on the TV. Yeah, I guess the thing is the fun, rather than like having like the series where the girls have to look after a baby, it's now the girls have to look after an adult who doesn't know how to behave like a human being.
Yeah, it's consistently kind of pleasant. I think it's really been on a good roll of episodes since it came back. Welly monster notwithstanding, but the rest of them have been pretty solid. And like having a new addition to the cast is going to more ample opportunity for comedy. They've even given the puppy dog character like a lot more depth that lasted a while as well, which is always a welcome thing. So now, like, they aren't just a cute thing to slap on the merchandise. You just love them even more.
Then, after only taking a week off, I heard that it had some good animation. So, One Piece episode 937, Tanayasu, Abisu Town's most loved.
Well, because it like recaps what happened in the last episode, it's like, old man Hio punched that llama man. It's like, you're good, you caught up.
And Luffy was like, that's what I want to learn how to do. Tell me how to do that. So, essentially, I can't remember which order all these things happen, but it is, we check in with Chopper and the girls on their way to the prison. Big Mum is really getting hungry now. Sorry, Olin is really getting hungry now. She needs that bean soup.
I do like the shots of like every time it cuts back to her, it's like, oh, I want to eat those sweet beans. And every time it cuts back to the prison, you get fucking Queen stuff in his mouth. It's like, more beans, please. And then at the end of this episode, it's like, let's eat all the beans. And then cut back to Olin going like, oh, I want to eat those beans. I'm just like, if only they could communicate.
Like Luffy's last line is, I'm going to stuff myself silly.
That's the worst thing you can do. It's good though. It's contrasted well.
And we have Tanayasu talking with Kanjuro and Shinobu and Usopp. Who else is there? They're like basically going over the how the plans failed, the enemies found out, but not all is lost because now all these people have been arrested. That means more people have heard about the plan, so more people might be willing to fight.
Yeah, and it's not so much them telling him as opposed to Tanayasu just saying like, "This is the plan. This is the plan. Here are all your conspirators that we haven't fucking seen in this room. And they're all just like,
And
yeah,
he's referring to Shinobu and Kanjuro by name, and then he leaves, and then they're like, so who was that guy? And Kanjuro and Shinobu are like, we don't know, but he seemed to know us, and we'd be rude to ask who he was.
oh, that social awkwardness. That is a good joke. It's just like, well, he was being so familiar and he knew all our names and the intimacy of our plans and everything. And it's just like, we couldn't just say, sorry, who are you? Because if anything, they should know him better because it's been less fucking time passing for them. But no, don't know who that old man is, and he seems pretty memorable. So you'd think you'd know him.
Shinobu's been there the entire time, so she's somehow not known of him for 20 years. And we learned that like, he brings loads of food to the people of Abyssy Town, which is why he's the most loved. And he may be the witching hour boy. At least that's what the guards seem to think he is, because we see him being stopped at one point, being accused of being that.
Yeah, because you get the guys going like initially, it's Usopp, Nami, and some old lady where he compliments them as just like, oh, a handsome man, a beautiful woman, and a young girl from the town, and we're all just like, oh my god, this guy. But then they're like, wow, he must be really rich. He's going around feeding everyone. And it's like, no, he's remarkably poor. His daughter sends back all the money from the capital that she earns to him. And he says, well, that's not just for me, that's for everyone. But he kind of lets himself go hungry. And they're like, wait, that name sounds familiar. Toko. Do I know a Toko? Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do. It's that little girl who's always laughing. Same as everybody in Abyssy Town.
Yeah.
And then we got lots of... It's weird because the title is Tonoyasu, but most of the episode is Luffy and Hyogoro beating dudes up, which is fine because that's where the great animation is. Yeah, some pretty good stuff with those lads. And
I did rewatch that. I've seen the animatic of that as well, doing the rounds. But of a Medillo man getting punched and that ripple going across his face, that's nice. That was really nice.
I like Luffy doing the fast hands, going like, come on, I got the pepper for you. Come on, get it.
And then they're left overnight, and Luffy's worried that he's not going to be able to eat. He's going to turn into a mummy, and then a mysterious pile of mud arrives, and Raizo's face emerges from it.
And what's worse is it is Caribou. But it's also with your man's face in him, and they're like, Jesus, what the fuck happened, you guys? Oh, I don't want to look at that.
And Hyogoro is like, Raizo, why do you look like that? It's been 20 years. How do you look the same as you did 20 years ago? It's like, well, we time travelled. He's like, you, Master Hyogoro. And yeah, Caribou's like, Luffy, I must apologise for everything I did to you last time, but I'm a changed man. I'll help you. I'll do whatever you say. You're my master now.
He puts on his cutest face.
Yes. And Luffy's like, well, if you changed, that's good. And then he instantly becomes suspicious. He's like, that was too easy.
It's like, does he fucking know I'm fucking with him? Is this?
Well, I don't know.
Am I just a really good liar? What's happening here?
No, we don't know if Caribou is fucking with him. I think Caribou thought he was going to have to beg a lot more. Based on him thinking people are as bad as he is.
And his cute face is nothing. He looks remarkably suspicious no matter what the fuck he's doing. Yeah.
And he's also smuggled out all the food, all the bean inside him. How much stuff can he store in that mud? Because that's a massive jar. See,
I think if he makes big things, like, because even Raizo's a bigger guy than him.
He is, yeah.
A bigger head than him. Like when he turns into like mud that can flow along the ground, he can store like the big things in like the flat amount of mud. It's very loose physics, yeah.
And they're ending with eating all the food that they've promised the Big Mum.
Again, cut the choppers like, is this a bad idea? I hope this doesn't backfire somehow. Oh dear.
We also learned that the prison is mainly full of political prisoners. Like there's tens of thousands of prisoners here.
Like, yeah, you get your murderers, you get your tax evaders, but most people are in here for betraying or like not doing what the fuck Kaido said. So they're on our side.
Yes. Yeah. And he asks Luffy, "Why do you want to fight Kaido? I heard you lost against him." And he goes, "Well, you're the four emperors." No. Okay, well, there's 4 really super strong pirates, and if I want to be king of the pirates, I've got to beat them all up. And I'm going to.
And he's like, "Oh, strong pirates, like Roger." And he's like, "What? Fucking?
Yes.
How do you know that? But not the more recent shit."
He's been in prison for 20 years.
Yeah,
That's
been behind the
also,
times.
It's a locked-up country, so they don't know anything about the outside. The only thing they know is
Also, Roger has literally been to this country.
Yes, Roger and Odin. Has Roger been to the country? Whitebeard. Anyway, these are all stuff for later on.
Yeah, actually, no, not that you mentioned.
I think you may have just heard
sure.
of Roger from Odin.
From Whitebeard as well, yeah.
And from Whitebeard, yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, these will be episodes in probably half a year's time.
Based off the opening, you think they'd be sooner?
Right, I am busting to go to the loo, so let's wrap this podcast up.
Okay, sure.
What day shall we do it next week? Wednesday? Is that correct, Niall?
Let's see if my calculations correct. Yeah, Wednesday the 26th of August.
Rightio, we'll be back here next week. Anything coming on the Secret of the Sailor Madness?
We got something up for you. Drawn or Alive, but the odd couple versus the oddball couple. I had to pause there so I didn't say it twice. It was so irritating. But yeah, it's on there. Looking at 1970 TV series of Odd Couple with Tony Randall, Jack Klugman versus the oddball couple. Like kind of ABC, the Paddy Feeding cartoon with a dog and a cat instead. It's all right. Gotta watch some Odd Couple episodes. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I've got nothing. Follow me on Twitch. At Let's Go Brian, and you'll see me playing Yakuza normally Saturday morning, Saturday evenings, and Sunday afternoons at the moment.
Any waking hour he gets.
Yeah, I'm almost through Yakuza 4. I think I'm ready now to go into the final fight. I've stopped myself from getting into completion mode. Rightio, we'll be back next week, Wednesday, same time, same channel, but not the same day. But we'll be back with all these things and nothing more. That'll be the last week of Kyklos, though.
Oh.
Okay,
Summer's
speak
over.
to you soon. Let me find the thing which stops the video.
Hey.
Big red button. Classic panel to flip it up.
It is indeed a big red